Oh boy. Seahawks Social, welcome back. Tough loss on Sunday to the Rams. Yikes. Seahawks are 10-3. Move back to second in the NFC West, fifth in the NFC. We're going to talk about it. Jason Myers missed an extra point, so I can't imagine what Lucas is going to say.
Let him go. Let him go.
We've prepared
Let him go.
to... Thank you, Lucas. We'll wait for the actual podcast. We've prepared some cocktails of sort here, just to drown our sorrows away after a tough weekend. Let's do this. Carl, did you watch the game?
Unfortunately, I did, Denny. That was tough. That was really tough.
Any positives to take away?
Fuck. Quandre Diggs, 2 picks, but then we do absolutely nothing with it. I thought that would be a TSN turning point, and we just nothing. Our offense couldn't get going. Lockett did even have a catch again.
Lockett had a few catches.
He had a few catches, but not much.
I think he's slowly...
he had the flu, though, it sounds like, the week before.
Really?
So wasn't healthy, but he played. Not that that's an excuse, but...
I think he's slowly getting back into shape, it seems like.
Yeah.
He looked a lot better this week than the last couple weeks. Metcalf had another decent game.
Metcalf had a decent game. Our punter had a good game.
Yeah, he was out there quite a bit.
Yeah. He was bombing bombs.
I thought the D started very slow, obviously. We were down 21-3 in the first half. But I thought in the second half they gave us a shot to come back. Obviously, Diggs has back-to-back picks, and then we block that field goal. So the offense seemed like it couldn't get anything going. And when it started, when I had a couple first downs in a row, it seemed like there was a big sack that was like a 15-yard loss. And that happened like 3 or 4 times in the second half.
Yeah.
And they just couldn't put a drive together.
Do you think the lack of running game this week kind of hurt us with Penny going down?
Man,
he's out for the season too.
He's out for the season.
Because I'm like looking at stats right now.
Yeah.
So Chris Carson had 15 carries for 76 yards.
Yeah.
But like surprisingly, Metcalf had 6 targets, Lockett had 6 targets, Josh Gordon had 6 targets.
Mm-hmm.
We just couldn't get the offense going though.
Well, I mean, their defense, both of LA's offense and defense showed up. We got fed, no matter what. We couldn't do anything. Like the only bright side is Diggs catching those interceptions. You thought, okay, this is a TSN turning point. Maybe we could put something together. But even Russell couldn't even run outside of the pocket. You just get sacked. You get hit, you get taken down. It's like...
Do you think it was a congratulations Rams had a great game, or was it a Seahawks looked sluggish?
I think the Rams were seriously playing for something and were seriously upset that they lost to... They got fed by the Ravens a few weeks ago, and I think they're turning their season around, trying to get back into the playoffs. We let them back in now, for sure.
I feel like the Rams kind of treated it like a playoff game more, just because they need the wins, right, to even have a chance.
But like everybody was showing up.
They looked really good.
They looked really good.
On both sides of the ball, they played really well.
Yeah.
They had a ton of pressure on... I don't have the numbers on like hurries and knockdowns and sacks on Wilson, but it seemed like he was under pressure every second play. I thought their defense played really well, held their offense to not very much.
No.
And I thought on offense, they kind of dominated Seattle.
No.
Goff's decent. I know he hasn't had a very good year, but I think, like in terms of our division, I think he's the next best quarterback. I think he's better than Garoppolo. Do you agree with that?
I'd like to agree with that next week, not after we lose a game to him, because currently I'm still bitter about that loss. But I think he's good.
LA has weapons, man.
But they have weapons.
Totally.
Mm-hmm.
Gurley's a beast.
Our defense was garbage, so it's not like we did anything. They had 3 touchdowns that were longer than 75 yards. Like, that's retarded that you can just march all the way down that field for 3 touchdowns on us.
I don't think you're allowed to say that word anymore.
Which one? Garbage?
No, I'm not allowed to say it.
What did I say?
Starts with an R. Let's move on. I give a lot of credit to the Rams. I think they looked really good last week. And do they play Niners next week or in 2 weeks? I think they play the Niners one more time. I think. I hope so anyway.
That's going to be an incredible game.
That will
Is it, can you confirm that? I can't remember if they played twice or not.
So the Seahawks play the Panthers next week. Falcons play the 49ers next week.
Okay, so that's
and
a
then
win.
Rams and Cowboys.
is next week.
Okay, so the
No, wait, Cowboys are playing. Rams are going to roll over them too.
Niners have 2 tough games. Week 16 they play where is it? In LA.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, sorry. Santa Clara. That's San Fran. So they play the Rams at home Saturday night, December 21st, and then week 17 in Seattle. The division is totally up for grabs still, man. And who's New Orleans play the next few weeks? They play the Monday night game next week against the Colts.
And then they have the Titans the week after that.
Ugh. And then week 17? Week 17 at Carolina. So honestly, I would kind of put money on the Saints winning the NFC right now. What do you
Really?
think?
You like the Saints, eh?
Well, they have 3 easy games left.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
So they're going to be
Yeah.
13-3. The 49ers have 2 tough games. So if they lose, I guess if they lose one, they're still...
It's right with Seattle,
It's 3
right?
teams. Same with the Seattle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because if Seattle beats the Niners and they all have the same record, it's a 3-way tie. What's the second tiebreaker? Because the Saints...
Is it points for? I have no idea.
I don't know.
That's a good question.
Because the Saints beat the Seahawks beat the Niners. Could be twice if we win on week 17. And the Niners beat the Saints.
Yeah.
So they could all be 12-4.
Well, it's starting to shape up that
But they could all be
final
13-3.
game is going to mean something.
Totally could be.
Yeah. See how expensive the tickets are right now? Oh my God.
No.
What are they at?
Minimum 400 for that San Fran game.
For the upper deck?
For upper deck. US.
That's silly. That's so expensive.
That's
you can
insane.
you can buy Seahawks playoff tickets for 300 right now.
Can you?
Nope. But we don't know what the game is.
Can you buy the first game already?
You can buy it, but they can't guarantee it because we don't know if it's a home game.
So it's just
or not.
cheaper because you're buying it blind?
Do you get
Yeah.
your money back?
You must. I don't know how it works. You have to get your money back.
If they don't make it?
Well, if it doesn't
Well,
exist, if the game doesn't
Because
exist.
if they don't win the division, they don't get a home game.
Right.
Yeah.
They'll be away. Interesting.
That's a lot of refunds.
It's a lot of refunds. And I ran into two season ticket holders this week. I was mad. One guy's been a season ticket holder for 15 years. Got 4 seats.
Jeez.
Says he donates them to charity.
That's
Can
pretty
you
cool.
Donate them to me, please.
We should start a charity.
What a... Doesn't even go to the games.
Jeez.
Just runs it as a business.
Danny, do you want to know how they decide the divisional tiebreakers?
Yeah, I do.
So first it's head-to-head, and then it's best won-loss tied percentage in games played within the division, and then it's best won-loss tied percentage in common games, so games played against the same opponent. And then 4 is best won-loss tied percentage in games played within the conference. It's really confusing.
So I don't think there can be a 3-way tie. Correct me if I'm wrong. So if the Niners and the Seahawks are tied, but the Seahawks beat them twice, the Seahawks win the division because they're head-to-head.
Correct.
And then the Seahawks would be 1-2.
Yeah.
And then it depends on record against the Saints. Because the Niners are no longer available to get number 1 and 2 in the NFC because they didn't win the division, right?
Correct.
Even if they have a better record than the Saints, because they won their division, are top 4.
From my understanding, yes. Yeah.
That's a weird fucking system.
Dude, look at there's 11 fucking tiebreakers right here. This is crazy.
To throw that many tiebreakers in, they must have had to use this one once down the line.
Yeah.
Be like,
They
okay,
get to
now we
step
need a new
5,
tiebreaker.
yeah, and then you add a 6, add a 7.
That's insane. I can't believe how many 10-2 games there were this year or this week, because that was like a true guide of like where these teams are at.
Totally.
Do you think this was the best NFL week so far this season?
100% across the board.
Across the board for sure. I mean, I was the most interested this week on what was going on, the outcomes. I really wanted New Orleans, obviously, selfish reasons.
Fuck, that was a game.
I honestly think Patriots got the refs decided that game for them, because that should have been 2 different touchdowns on one play, and they still just came out with it.
I need to find highlights of that game because I didn't see it. I've just read about it on social today.
So they're playing Kansas City, right?
Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
So they tackled Kelsey, made him fumble, grabbed the ball, ran it down, but blew the whistle as if he was down, so they couldn't run it.
So mid-play they stopped it.
Mid-play they stopped it. It was a fumble. He wasn't even on the ground yet. So that should have been a touchdown. And then on that play, I can't remember who the guy was, Keneal something. I can't remember his last name is a rookie. He was running. It was like first and goal maybe or something like that, first and 5. Anyways, looked like he stepped out of bounds, but he was like this far in. And he dove, should have been a touchdown. But because of those other plays that they challenged, Patriots didn't have any more challenges left. And they couldn't. It was a touchdown, clear as day.
So clear. Like,
oh my god!
You look at the camera once on the replay, and it's so easy to tell. Like,
oh yeah, it's brutal.
How do you avoid that though?
Just, I don't know.
It's human error. It happens in every single sport.
It's human error. I mean, the only way to avoid it is
the challenge.
Look at everything.
Well, you look at every score.
Yeah, big plays like that. Do you just look at it every time?
But it wasn't a score because they called it out, right?
I know, but they called it out. But I think I don't know what you do.
Because the refs are taught, especially with challenges in play now, are taught to let things go. If they're borderline like that, if you can't see for certain if he stepped out of bounds, let it go and call it back, right? Because you can review a score play, you can't review.
Yeah, but the crazy part is that you're challenging stuff and they play. What I don't get is that if you've challenged it and they play the replay of that challenge and it's clear as day, just looking at the screen that the call was wrong, and they still won't overturn it. You're like, who's the one back in New York deciding, let's just go with the call on the field when they got it wrong? 100%.
Did they challenge something?
They challenged a few other things. Did they challenge that Kelsey?
I think that was the one that they lost it on, right?
They lost it on that, and that was clearly a fumble. Did they challenge that? I think they did.
I'm pretty sure.
They challenged a pass interference as well, which I don't think one pass interference challenge has gone through this year.
Yeah.
Why are people even bothering? That's a waste of a challenge.
I saw some stats. I think it was last week they put it up. In the first 7 weeks of the year, it was like 4 out of 59 were overturned, pass interference challenges. And then I guess coaches were understanding that, okay, it needs to be pretty obvious. So they were just not challenging as many.
Yeah.
And then it was up to like 25 or 30% we're getting overturned.
Yeah.
Can't remember the exact number. Then it was like for the next 6 weeks, it was like 10 out of 40 or something. So it was getting a lot higher. But yeah,
that was a brutal game to watch because I was just, not that I'm not a Patriots fan, but I was just like, oh my God, this is not good look for refs.
On the final drive too, there was also a pretty bad PI that wasn't called.
That was one that got challenged too, right? Or did he get challenged?
No, that one did not.
What did they challenge? Did it say?
It was the first on the Kelsey one.
Yeah. If you saw that Kelsey fumble, you're like, okay, yeah, that's a fumble.
And that was Bill Belichick's final challenge.
Punched it out of his hand.
And it got called no fumble?
Yeah.
No fumble.
Got called no fumble. And you look at it, he got he's getting tackled, punched the ball out, and then he goes to the ground. Ball went flying. It should have been a touchdown. Not only should that have been a touchdown, not called back, they
should have called it dead.
Yeah.
Was it egregious?
Excuse me?
Big word.
No, remember
What does that mean? Can you
remember a
spell
couple
that
weeks
for me?
Remember a couple weeks ago we looked up
Okay, Alex
how they
Trebek.
can overturn a proper pass interference,
Right.
and it had to be the word that's in the
Egregious?
rule is egregious.
What does that mean? Like aggressive?
No, remember we talked about that.
Did we? I don't
It
remember
means Carl, look up.
so out of
it's
control.
so funny. It means shockingly bad or something.
that. Well,
think
these were shockingly bad. These were
Outstandingly
shockingly bad. The refs
Outstandingly
are
bad, yeah.
shockingly
Shocking.
bad.
Shocking. That's right.
Oh my god. Anyways,
I thought that was.
let's move
fucking
on from that.
hilarious.
That was insane. Egregious.
I'm okay with the Patriots loss. I think they've had enough
know.
things go their way in the
I
last
get it.
decade that they deserve one bad one.
Is Kansas City in the talk? How do you guys feel about them?
I still think Mahomes. No, but Mahomes broke his hand.
No way. Really?
I don't know if it's his throwing hand. He broke a bone in his hand, so I don't know. Do you see him get like destroyed on the sidelines?
So it says Patrick Mahomes' X-ray on injured throwing hand is negative.
Oh, it's negative. That's not what I heard today. I heard that he broke a bone in his hand.
Was that the same hand that he was having problems with earlier?
Oh, I don't know, but there was one play that he just got tossed on the sideline, like got thrown. How did he not?
I saw that. Yeah.
Yeah, how is that not?
His entire body weight went on his wrist.
Anyways.
Yeah, they say it's negative.
Okay, well, that's good news. I don't think that they're in the talk because he is not. I feel like Mahomes is last year is Lamar Jackson. Like was running through everybody, and like you're like, okay, Mahomes is this guy's a beast.
Mhm.
But then he got hit, got injured, his ankle was screwed, and now he's just not that guy. So they don't have him running anymore, and that just doesn't open him up for anything.
So everything's out of a pocket now, a little bit different.
Yeah,
in the game.
he can run, but he's not running much.
Mahomes is much more an impressive passer than Jackson is.
Oh yeah, no, Jackson.
His
doesn't-
arm is way better.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
I think
Because he was a
Mahomes.
baseball player. Like he's
I don't know the injury status of Mahomes, nor have I really watched much of their games this year, but I watched a few last year.
yeah.
I think he has the potential to be a Russell Wilson, to be someone who early in their career uses their legs a lot just to create space,
Yeah.
but will also always be that elusive guy that just extends plays and makes plays.
That
Right.
extra gear if you need to, right?
Yeah, just
As
like
long as he protects himself. 'Cause I think
sliding,
he still
yeah.
goes a little too far and these guys are just going to get injured.
I watched maybe talking about Lamar Jackson. I watched maybe 10 minutes of the game, just flipping back and forth between the Saints Niners game
Yeah.
and that game. There was like 2 or 3 times where he aggressively is looking for contact. And every time,
He's not trying to
I
avoid it
don't
at
understand.
No, he'll like put his shoulder down and go, okay, let's go. What? Why?
But there was
It's their
one.
job.
There was one where he was like running out of bounds, and as he's getting hit, he kind of breaks a tackle and like just looks for another hit. And he's 6 yards behind the line of scrimmage. He's not like
Mm-hmm.
gaining anything from this.
Mm-hmm.
I just can't see him unless he changes the way he plays, lasting
He's
more
gonna
than
get
like
injured.
3 years.
Yeah.
And it's comical to me because this is the way that I think about him. It's comical to me to see RG3 come onto the field as like a wildcat or whatever. And I'm just like, this is Lamar Jackson in 3 years.
Yeah.
He's going to be a backup somewhere. He's going to
Yeah.
be a wildcat quarterback that plays 3 plays a game.
Yeah.
Just because he's been hit in the head so many times. I don't know.
G3, man. Shanahan screwed his career. Just-
Injuries screwed his career though. He just kept getting injured.
Yeah, but not only did he kept getting injured, Shanahan ran him out there injured to try to like make a run in the playoffs and just
Right.
destroyed his knee. And once his
Right.
knee was done, that's it. His career was done. Like, sure, you could throw a ball, but these quarterbacks are only going to be who they are. That's the thing. Like Wilson can adapt because he's a talented athlete, and these guys, like Lamar Jackson, doesn't have the arm to throw these dimes. He can only rely on escaping and running and using that talent and skill to his benefit to open up the receivers to throw them the ball. So if he's sitting in the pocket, it's just not going to happen. So when he
I
gets
haven't
injured,
watched
he's going to
him
be like
enough
RG3.
to comment on that. I've seen, like, I don't know what Carl. Have you watched a lot of him? What do you think of his arm
No.
strength?
It's not. I don't think it's that great. His accuracy is getting better. I feel like he's getting more confident. But
He does a lot of things on the run which are unique.
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
it's
like kind of set him
that's
apart.
why I'll give him the accuracy for
Yeah.
that reason.
Do you think he obviously? So Russ had his first game without a touchdown this week. Did not throw a touchdown this week. Do you think that separates Jackson a little bit in the MVP race? Do you think Russell Wilson is out of the MVP race after that game?
Lots of people are saying he is, but I don't think so. All it takes is one bad game from Lamar, a couple good game from Russell, and we're right back into it, right?
I don't know if they have tough games left, though. I think that Buffalo game was the kind of their last tough game. Baltimore. Like, they play the Jets next week, which is silly.
So easy.
You're going to win 114-3.
Watch the Jets come out and somehow like put together a game. You're like, what the hell's going on?
And then they play
There's been
in
some weird upsets
Cleveland.
this week or this year.
In Cleveland, then against the Steelers. But week 17 for them probably isn't going to matter. I guess they have 3 losses, so they might. Oh, no, they have 2. They're 11-2.
The Beckham era is coming.
Week 17 for them might not matter. Like, they may have number 1 clinched already. Again, and the Steelers probably need to win to make the playoffs, so that could be a loss. But I don't think it's going to matter for an MVP race. There's only 3 games left. I think Lamar, according to the NFL, is a step ahead of Wilson now. So unless like something spectacular happens, I think
they'll give it to
wins
Lamar,
MVP.
Abe, just because they need to sell more jerseys, and there's enough Wilson jerseys out there, and they don't really care that much about the West Coast, and we don't get the respect, and so they want to build something about Baltimore, because Baltimore? Really? That's my take.
What about Joe Flacco? Where's Joe Flacco these days?
Jesus, man.
How many Super Bowls did he win with the
I'm pretty sure one,
Ravens?
right?
He won
I thought
one?
2.
No, he won one.
Only 1?
Yeah, one and got paid.
Against San Fran, he won, right?
One got paid and then got traded. Where is he now?
He gone.
He's fucking living life, man.
No, he's in Denver. He's on the Broncos.
Yeah, he's still.
But he's like
I think he got benched.
He got
though,
injured
didn't
or
he?
something, I think.
Yeah.
He's on a season-ending injury reserve.
Yeah. See, you guys gotta listen to me more often.
His neck.
I believed you.
No, you didn't.
Do you think? What are your thoughts on Pete Carroll?
I love Pete Carroll.
I had a
Best
conversation
coach
with
in the league.
I had a
100%.
conversation with one of my friends yesterday during the game, kind of before the game and during the game. Mike Bell. Mike Bell bet against the Hawks yesterday. Mike Bell does a lot of sports betting and actually is quite good at this shit. So good for him that he picked that one. The reason he didn't like that game is because the Rams needed to win. The Seahawks didn't really.
Yep.
And he likes, what's his name? Sean McVay?
McVay.
Yeah, the coach.
He likes McVay's decision making in games much better than Pete Carroll's. And then after the game, he sent me a message saying, like, exactly. Like, this is exactly what I predicted, because in games where they need to step up the tempo a little bit and throw the ball, they just like, they say, oh, we have a game plan. We're going to keep to the game plan. But if you're down 21-3, you probably need to move the ball a little bit quicker, right?
Yeah,
Even
couldn't though. Like Darnold was just blowing through them.
Darnold.
Rams.
Donald.
Sorry.
Darnold is a
Darnold's
quarterback for the Jets.
Yeah, sorry. I'm thinking about their game next week. But I get it. I still think Carroll's a better coach. He's a player's coach. Like McVay is young and like
So, okay, but that
parties
was,
with him and like, yeah, he's the guy, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he has that. And there's how many players?
But do you think
Like, how young is he? He's
with
34
being
years
young,
old. Like that's insane.
he might be like, what if he just brings in new ideas being young, kind of just fresh things?
Oh, and he does. He obviously does.
that was his comment. His comment wasn't that Pete Carroll isn't liked by the players, because he definitely motivates people because of how good he is.
No, I get what you're saying. He adapts. McVay is adapting to the game and
in-game adjustments,
Yep.
McVay is better. That's what he was saying. Anyway, it showed yesterday. Like, even just the...
yeah. Never mind.
I'll bring up a few specific situations yesterday.
But do you think we just ran up against a hot LA team? We just like happened. That was the game that they put everything together, and it happened to be against us.
I'm giving the Rams 100% credit for yesterday.
100%.
I think they played extremely well.
Right? Yeah.
And even if the Seahawks played well, I think
Yeah.
that would have been a close game. We did not play well. It's fine, but I think they had a great game.
Yeah.
I haven't watched them this year, but I'd be surprised if they've played better across the board in a game this year.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. I think
But
they
I'm
played
wondering
it,
if they
I
can
think
do-
they played it really well.
Will they do that back to back? I'm wondering.
I don't know. I haven't watched. I don't know their guys well enough to know if that's going to happen. But like, let me put out a few specific things. So, first quarter, I think the score was 7-3 at the time. We had a fourth and like half a yard around midfield. I think we were on like the 45 or something.
And we went for fourth down. We went for it.
No,
Oh.
and we punt.
Okay.
So like those types of decisions early in the game are so key, right? Fourth and half a yard. What's the likelihood of getting it? I don't know, 60, 70%? Like maybe 50. But it's not less than 50.
No way.
Especially when you have Chris Carson, one of like the strongest runners in the league.
Mm-hmm.
So that was like the first one. The second one was then on the next drive, it was now 14-3. And we have a 4th and 3 at midfield and we go for it.
Yeah.
So almost like, I don't know if at that time he felt the game was getting away from him a little bit at 14-3 and how easily the Rams are driving on the Seahawks defense that he's like, okay, this is where I'm going to go for it.
But that's
literally
so much
the drive before was 4th and half a yard versus 4th and like a long 3
Maybe
or 4.
He regretted not going for it and just kind of forced it.
Maybe. And then the other one was 7 minutes left in the game. It's 28-9. And we have a 4th down on the 30. And it was like 4th and 2 or 4th and it was a 4th and short. And they kick a field goal. So someone posted today on Instagram and I saw this. Do you remember this, Carl? Yesterday? Mm-hmm. So there's 7 minutes left. They kick a field goal to make it 28-12 instead. I don't know what fucking formula calculation they put this through. But the Seahawks' chances to win the game were worse after kicking the field goal than before. So they showed like the probability of the Rams winning at 23-9 going for it on 4th down were like 98.7%. The probability of the Rams winning after they kick a field goal and get the ball back up 16 were 98.8 or 9%. A little bit higher.
I get that.
So being like...
Well, because you're forced now to have to go for a touchdown and they know that. So it's a whole different world, right?
Well, I think being down 16 is not ideal, right? Because you have to...
You need 2 touchdowns and two
you need onside kick and then you need 2 2-point conversion. Yeah. Whereas if they go for it on 4th down in a pretty reasonable situation, that was like 4th and 2 or 3 or something, it was short, and they get it, then they're in position to score a touchdown, which would have put them down 13, which is a much more acquirable number than 16 is a lot of 50% things, right? Going for it on 2 is like 45%.
Yeah.
Getting an onside kick is like 1 in 10, 1 in 15.
So probably somewhere around there. What, there's been like 2 this year, or 3?
Well, someone who last
week the Falcons,
got 3 in a row.
Yeah, it was the Asian kicker. I forgot his name.
So it was the Falcons.
It was 3 in a row. Yeah,
they got 3 in a row. One got called back because there was a penalty or something.
Yeah,
but then they got it again, and then they scored, and then kicked again, got it again.
And it wasn't even a penalty. The refs fucked up.
That's right. Yeah. That's crazy.
It was a good play.
That guy has like a whole YouTube channel and does like crazy kicks and
really?
Yeah.
Doesn't Dixon have one of those too?
I don't know if he does or not, but he's got a ton of different kicks. He had a good game, I'm telling you. Like he was like the one shining. Him and Diggs on our team were the only.
I love Quandre. Quandre's so good.
Yeah.
Fuck, too bad there's no punters in fantasy, eh?
I know. That would have been the one.
Pick him up.
Yeah, pick him up. Diggs is on fire though.
Any punt over like 55 yards or something. What's the average?
Or
like 48.
It's gotta be like
probably high 40s.
Yeah.
Anything over that, you get 1 point. Anything over 55, you get 3 points.
Or you get a point 60, if you get it within their red zone.
Yeah.
That'd be fun.
Inside the 20, you get 2 points. Inside the 10, you get 4 points. This is an idea.
Let's just do straight up fantasy league with just punters.
Just punters.
Yeah. There's us 3. We each get 10 punters.
There should be the kickers too.
Yeah.
I think it'd be fun to just
I know who
kickers.
I'm not taking.
You just start 1 kicker, 1 punter for the week.
I knew this was going to come up eventually.
I know who I'm not picking. I love the text you guys sent. Myers kicks a 39-yarder. Wow. What do you think now? What do you have to say about Myers now? I'm like, you just watch. There's the rest of the game left. And then
he misses
seconds later, he misses an extra point. Even closer.
At that point, the game was over.
I get it, but we're paying this guy an arm and a leg. Like, can we just, like, let's cut him, pick up some other guy, and spend some money on our defense. We need to protect Russell. He needs a little bit more time.
I think O-line is more important than defense.
That's what I meant. O-line, sorry.
I don't know. I don't know if the defense has shown up against like good teams.
I meant the offensive line. We need to spend some more money on the offensive line because Hunt is not the answer.
So this year, Russell Wilson has been sacked 40 times.
Is that the most in the NFL?
40 times?
And in comparison,
5 last night.
In comparison to Lamar Jackson, which is 23. So almost double.
Yeah.
Remember that stat I gave you a couple weeks ago? It was like a QB time stat.
Yeah.
Russell Wilson was 28 in the league. Lamar Jackson was number 1. 1 or 2. In terms of, it was like an offensive line efficiency
In terms
stat
of how long he has to make a decision?
It was like an offensive line efficiency stat. So I think it was like how long he has to throw, how many times he gets knocked down, rushed, whatever. I don't know what the algorithm is, but something like that.
Do you think we, give up a wide receiver for extra linemen? Like, what do we do?
Well, you can't trade
next
anymore.
year.
You just got to pick people up. That's a great question. How do we have success in the playoffs this year?
Well,
what needs to happen?
We need the rookies to show up because now especially for running backs.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
because Penny's gone, so now all we have is Carson,
even at linebacker,
and Homer.
Even at linebacker, right?
Yeah.
Kendricks was out this week with an injury.
Was out.
Barton, who is his replacement, got hurt and is out next week.
Yeah.
I think KJ Wright was like on the fence to play this week, but he did. So I don't know. Maybe injuries are just coming to bite us a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy.
I think the Penny loss is bigger than people.
It's huge.
I think people are talking about it, but I think it's big.
Huge. Didn't Precise come in his first play? He fumbled.
Precise? Did he?
Yeah.
No.
Yes. Carson went to Wilson passed the ball to him and then he just dropped it. Like, oh God, here we go.
No, Wilson tried to pull it away.
Did he?
So that was one of those read options, which are, as a former quarterback in high school, they are difficult because it's like such a fine line of when the running back actually thinks they're getting the ball.
Yeah.
Because literally the job is you're going to put it in the running back's stomach and you're reading the D end. If the D end goes down the line, you're taking the ball out.
It's a split
If the D end comes
decision.
up, you're leaving the ball in the running back's stomach. So if the running back thinks he's getting it and closes his arms,
he just pulls it out
and
of
then
your
you
hand.
try to pull it out, that's what happened.
Oh. Yeah.
And so Procise and Wilson have had 3 snaps together this year?
Yeah.
Maybe not very many.
Yeah.
So it's just timing. Honestly, Procise has looked good the last year or two. I think last year he got more carries. He's a good third option.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, of course. And I feel like Homer is going to be good too. We just got to give him some.
Just young.
He's just young.
Yeah, he's a rookie, right?
He's a rookie.
Yeah.
So he's not going to get that opportunity unless Precise gets injured and then God, now what?
Do you think at some point excuse me.
Wow. Have a scotch.
I know we've been aggressively drowning our feelings. Do you think at some point, what's the O coordinator's name? Schottenheimer?
Sure. Let's go with that.
Something like that. Just says, Wilson, it's your team. If we're going to lose, we're going to lose on your shoulders. And instead of throwing the ball 30 times, we're throwing the ball 45 times.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe not 45, but 40.
The
weapons at wide receiver are unbelievable.
Why weren't they using it? Look at
the line.
Why is Gordon not being used?
You know what?
Gordon had a great play. Why is he not being used? He's only getting one throw a game. What's going on?
2 targets, 2 catches this week, right?
Like, is the guy just not smart and he needs time to learn one play? Like, he needs
5 targets.
This week he had more, yeah.
Yeah,
he had 5 targets, but yeah.
What's going on? Like, the guys, why are we not using him? Especially because Lockett's not doing anything because he's injured and had the flu. Like, I don't get what's going on.
I don't know. Also, the Giants are up 7-0. Good for them.
Told you. I should have switched my pick. I told you at the beginning of this game I should switch my pick because Manning's in. They're going to win the game for him.
This is his last season?
Well, I don't know if it is, but he's not going to stay as a backup.
He's old, isn't he? Isn't he like 41?
I don't think he's 41, is he?
Well, his brother is only a few years older than him.
He's not
and his
41.
brother's like
He's got to be in his
46.
30s still.
Eli Manning is 38, and he turns 39 in 3 weeks.
Yeah. You might as well retire. There's no point in being a backup at this point. Either you retire, you have the legacy of being
Two-time
a great
Super Bowl champion.
But New York screwed him. Like, they should have rode him this year.
Well, because this season's a write-off, right? Just let him play.
He let him play.
Yeah.
Like, he's won you 2 Super Bowls. What are you doing?
Give him the Kobe treatment and then fucking move on next year.
Give him the Manning treatment. Like, that.
Who is their
family's
starter?
a legacy.
Jones? Daniel Jones?
Yeah, the quarter is
The rookie,
he's a
right?
rookie. He's terrible.
And they picked him super high in the draft, and people were upset.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And
Maybe
he's led him to 2 wins. Though.
What's the right move though? Like,
What's the right move? You go with your guy who's won you 2 Super Bowls. He's not the reason that's losing the games.
no, but I'm assuming at the beginning of the year, it's fairly easy to see as a Jets like personnel, as a staff of the Jets or as a staff of the Bengals, your team is not going to be very good.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So you use this year as a building year for next year.
Mhm.
Eli Manning is not a building year for next year, right? Like, why not give the young guy a bunch of snaps so he can get a little bit of experience and get a little bit better so that next year, the year after, you have a chance at being better. Whereas if he never plays it down this year, Eli Manning plays the entire year and then he gets thrown in next year is going to be this year for them.
I see what you're
Right.
saying.
I
know
get
what I
what
mean?
you're saying, but I like going the other way. I think.
But they're going to be bad anyway. They're going to be 2-10 anyway.
And I get it,
Mhm.
but I just think that you have somebody in your team that is the legacy, like is the heartbeat of your team, or was the heartbeat of your team, and has won you Super Bowls. You're telling me that, like, when Wilson gets older, like, just put him in the backup and don't let him play?
If we have a chance to win a Super Bowl, I would like Wilson to be playing. If we do not have a chance to win a Super Bowl and we're going to be 2-10, I would say put the rookie and let's start building for the next few years.
Who is our backup? Geno Smith.
You know,
Oh my God. It sucks when we lose.
I know, it's so down,
These
man.
podcasts are terrible when we lose.
it's not a fun week.
No.
Should we go over our predictions from last week?
No,
Oh my
no,
God.
no. We're going to skip that.
This is my 1 point.
You're going to give me
Yeah, I'm
one
gonna
point.
give myself one.
Yeah, you predicted the loss, didn't you?
No, you didn't.
No, I guess closer to the score.
Okay.
No, we don't want to hear that.
Good
Let's
news
move
is
on
that
to next
Carson has a 1,000-yard running season. That's nice.
A couple years in a row.
2 years in a row. Do you think he'll match Lynch's? The 4 in a row?
Was Lynch 4? The running back position is tough, man. It's so dependent on injuries.
Yeah. Oh, God, yeah.
And
Right.
one injury and you're a different person, man. Like, how many
Yeah.
times have we seen this year?
Yeah.
Or literally one play and you're out for the season, like Penny, right? His first touch last night probably tore his ACL.
Fuck, man.
On such a weird play, too. It didn't even look bad. Do you remember?
Doesn't take much, though.
It was such a weird play. His knee just kind of got jammed,
No.
but it was the other knee that got hit,
Mhm.
or the other leg. I don't know. That was weird. Football's weird. All right, let's make some predictions for next week and get out of here. We got to drink a lot of scotch. They play in Carolina next week, 10 a.m. Sunday morning.
Carolina's garbage. That has to be a guaranteed win.
They don't even have a head coach right now.
They don't have a head coach. They're shopping Newton now. Ready to trade him.
Are they?
Yeah.
Well, you can't
So
trade
this-
anymore. Wasn't the trade deadline
No,
like
I
2
know,
weeks
but
ago?
they're already looking for an outcome for him next year. So, like, this is they're packing their bags,
They got pumped
looking ahead for
by the Falcons last week.
Yeah.
Yikes.
one of the games I got right. One of the only games I got
But
right.
played the Saints really close. Isn't that football is so weird, man.
It's
So
so
weird, man.
weird.
It's such a weird sport like that. Oh man.
Brutal. Because you think you have it predicted. Like, you think at this time of year, the teams that are supposed to win are going to win. The ones that are going to lose are supposed to lose. Like, there might be a few little upsets here and there, but...
You just get these weird matchups that'll change the game. And football, man, it comes down to a couple
injury,
plays.
Right? An injury, too.
You get your secondary guy going up like a monster.
Yeah.
It's a problem.
Exactly.
In Carolina, what do you think?
In Carolina, I'm going Seahawks. They're going to have a huge bounce back game. I'm hoping Pete didn't let them go home. They're already in Carolina for a full week. They have to eat local food to suffer. They're not allowed to talk to family. They're
Carolina
locked
has
in
some
the
great
hotel.
barbecue, I've heard, though, isn't it?
I don't know. I'm just saying they need to treat this. They need to treat this as a must-win. Like, you guys cannot lose these games. You need to win this game. Is a must-win game in my book. So Seahawks win. I'm looking at 34 to 21.
Okay. Denny?
38-24 Seahawks.
I was going to say 24.
I'm going to say 31-17 Seahawks, and I hope Christian McCaffrey gets all 17 points for my fantasy team.
I hope just for that he gets injured.
Fuck.
Holy shit. Guys, if anyone cares about Greater Vancouver real estate, I just got a text. Had a client rate an offer on a 1 and den condo, 650 square feet, 15 offers tonight.
Anyone subject free?
Yeah, guess what the sale price was? Listed at $649,
Which was...
which was low, which was $50K low.
From the price that you were saying before at up to... You had some offers up to $750. I'm going to say it went for $788.
Carl?
788? You said 650 initially?
$650 list price, which was $50,000 low. The last sale of a similar unit sold for $705. And that was in August, I believe.
Jesus.
I would say anything over 700, but you guys are saying 750? Fuck, I say 730. I have no idea.
792.
792.
What?
Somebody overpaid. Wow.
No, there's 15 offers, man.
Was this
792 subject free? What are we doing right now?
Was this like a nice special apartment, unique?
I haven't
like,
seen the place.
Sweet place, good view, 650 square feet,
Is it
1-year-old building.
a loft?
No, more condo.
1 bedroom.
1 bed and like a den that's big enough for a second bedroom kind of, but no window.
Wow.
Bro. That'd be tough to make it cash positive.
2020 is going to
What
be
is your-
busy, ladies and gentlemen.
What does
Here.
your client think about that when you tell him the price?
I'm going to message her right now. She's not going to be excited.
Yeah, I wonder if this is going to change our market.
2020 is going to be busy.
Do you think so?
Calling
This
it right
fall's
now.
been insane.
It's not
for
going to be
us.
like 2016, but I think it's going to be somewhere between 2018, which was kind of like a slow and kind of like a steady year, and
Yeah.
2016, which was insanity. I think it's going to be active as shit.
Okay. Anyways, let's go back to Seahawks. Hope you guys win next week. 'cause
Real
this
estate's
is
more exciting this Seahawks. Right now.
depressing.
Seahawks, we love you. Let's get a dub next week and get to 11-3 and take down the Niners in week 17 to win the division.
Yes. Let's win the division.
Good idea. #GoHawks.
Peace.